On June 22, 2025, Red River Unitarian Universalist Church proudly presented the topic, "When the Storm Comes, We Move Together." The Reverend Summer shares the discourse via video. Welcome from Red River Unitarian Universalists. Thank you for joining us. The religion we practice in this church is centered in the here and now, rather than the hereafter. It is more of a thinking kind of religion than a believing kind. It is governed more by reason than by tradition, more concerned with the present than the past. It is concerned with getting the most out of life, with living wisely and well. A major aim for us is continually expanding our understanding of life and ourselves. This church is a community of people who share in the free and open search for a level of understanding that will enable us to be more fully and effectively alive. The church does not tell us what we must believe. It stimulates us to think. It supports us in our search. You are welcome to join us. Our centering value is love, with transformation, generosity, equity, interdependence, justice, and pluralism.
Welcome to this place of possibility. This is Love's Hearth, the home of hope, a refuge for minds in search of truth, unfolding, ever beautiful, ever strange. Here, compassion is our shelter, freedom our protection from the storms of bigotry and hate. In this abode, may we find comfort and courage. Here, may our sight become vision to see the unseen, to glimpse the good that is yet to be. As is our custom, if you'd like to come and light a candle for a joy, a challenge, or just to bring more light into this room, please do so while we sit in stillness listening to the prelude.
May nothing evil cross this door, and may ill fortune never pry about these windows. May the roar and rain go by faith made strong, the rafters will withstand the battering of the storm. This heart, though all the world grow chill, will keep you warm. Peace shall walk softly through these rooms, touching our lips with holy wine, till every casual corner blooms into a shrine. With laughter drown the raucous shout, and though these sheltering walls are thin, may they be strong to keep hate out and hold love in.
Please rise and body your spirit for our chalice lighting and spoken affirmation. Our chalice lighting words this morning are from Glow Hope by Mary Sheldon. More than relic, living symbol, beacon to the bewildered, illuminating refuge, light of love. Calling to community, signal of sacred mission, shine now in the world, set being ablaze, kindle our courage, ignite intuition, spark our hearts to service, glow hope. Join me as together we remind ourselves of the affirmation that is a cornerstone of our free faith tradition. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in freedom, and to help one another. We light this peace candle to remind us of all the places in the world where there is no peace. Join me in the words now on the screen. Lead me from death to life, from falsehood to truth. Lead me from despair to hope, from fear to trust. Lead me from hate to love, from war to peace. Let peace fill our hearts, our world, our universe. You may be seated. Our opening words are from When the Storm Comes, We Move Together, presented by Reverend Summer Albayati, UUAA Congregational Life Staff, Pacific Western Region. There is so much change happening right now that it may feel as if the whole world is in a storm. How do we find the way to move with and through the storm? Not running for cover, but finding who we must become to ride it out and emerge triumphant. When the storm settles, as it must, how do we help to keep the house from blowing away? Our first reading is A Community Well by Julia Hamilton. Spirit of life, we need each other. We need one another to sit together in the dark when the electricity is out and the wind is howling. We need one another to wade through the water with nothing but an old canoe and the will to save as many lives as possible. We need one another to help tear down our moldy, rotten walls and begin to put up new ones in the house that our grandfather built. We need one another when the sky clears, and yet we are still so filled with stories that if we don't tell them to someone else, we might hurt ourselves. We need one another to make us laugh on the first good day in a long while. And we need one another so that when our own little spring of hope dries up, there is a community well from which we can drink that will keep us going until the thirst is over, the worst is past, and able to survive even when the rains come again. Join now for our time of practices with words, stillness, and music. Our words are from Shantideva Prayer by Shantideva. May I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector of those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with oceans to cross, a bridge for those with rivers to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a servant to all in need. For as long as space endures, and for as long as living beings remain, until then may I, too, abide to dispel the misery of the world. Our second reading this morning is The Umbrella Sanctuary by Tim Atkins. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who was caught outside in a sudden rainstorm. She ran inside to the nearest store to wait out the rainstorm. As soon as she closed the door, a bright flash and a loud boom of thunder followed. The little girl knew that she would be stuck in that store for quite a while. She started to look around at some of the different items in the store when the shopkeeper appeared. "Young woman," said the old shopkeeper, "can I help you with something?" The little girl pointed outside, too afraid to talk. "Ah," said the old shopkeeper, "did you run in here to escape the rain?" The little girl nodded slowly as another loud boom of thunder shook the store. "Well, you can wait here if you'd like in my little sanctuary. We've got a nice, sturdy roof over our heads, and it will keep you safe and dry." The little girl appreciated the offer, but she really needed to get back outside and continue on her way. The old shopkeeper could tell the little girl was hesitating. "Or," continued the shopkeeper, "you could head back outside with this." The old shopkeeper went behind the counter and pulled out an umbrella. "Take this umbrella," said the old shopkeeper. "I don't know why it's raining, but I do know that you can keep dry under this portable sanctuary." The little girl beamed, but then stopped in her tracks. "But I don't have any money," said the little girl. The old shopkeeper waved her off. "No worries, little girl. Just be sure to offer the umbrella to someone else when they need it." The little girl accepted the umbrella, headed back outside, opened her umbrella, and went on her way. The little girl was happy and dry. She started skipping down the street and was perfectly happy when she saw a man wearing a suit trying to keep dry with a newspaper over his head. She heard another loud boom, and the newspaper began to fall apart under the heavy rain. She skipped over to the man in the suit and held the umbrella up as high as she could. "Thank you," said the man. Remembering the words from the old shopkeeper, the little girl told the man, "I don't know why it's raining, but I do know that you can keep dry with me under this portable sanctuary." The man smiled in relief. He had been having a really bad day. See, he was wearing a suit because he was on his way to a job interview. He had been without work for a long, long time and was desperate. He had to walk to the interview because he couldn't afford a car. When it started to rain, he cursed his luck. He would show up to his really important job interview soaked, and he knew it would make a really bad first impression. The little girl spotted her family in the store across the street. "Here," said the little girl, "take the umbrella with you. I see my family right over there across the street." "Oh, I couldn't take your umbrella," said the man, feeling guilty. "No, take it. Just be sure to offer the umbrella to someone else when they need it." The little girl put the umbrella into his hands and then ran off to meet her family. The man couldn't believe how nice the little girl was. He knew he had to hurry, though, because it was almost time for his very important interview. Another boom of thunder caused him to start running. Well, I can tell you that that man got the job he was interviewing for, and soon enough, he was able to afford to buy a few umbrellas of his own. Whenever it would rain, he would bring not only his umbrella that the little girl had given him, he would bring 2 more umbrellas to give away to people who were stuck outside in the rain. And every time he gave away an umbrella, he would say, "I don't know why it's raining, but I do know that you can keep dry under this portable sanctuary." And soon everyone in their town had an umbrella that they would take with them, and if the townspeople passed by someone without an umbrella, they would give up their own umbrella and pass on the words now known by the entire town, "I don't know why it's raining, but I do know that you can keep dry under this portable sanctuary."
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know this, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we
Aunt Seneva was the only adult around, and as the sky blackened and the wind grew stronger, she herded us all inside. Her house was not the biggest place around, and it seemed even smaller with so many children squeezed inside. Small and surprisingly quiet. All of the shouting and laughter that had been going on earlier outside had stopped. The wind was howling now, and the house was starting to shake. We were scared. Even Aunt Seneva was scared. And then it got worse. Now the house was beginning to sway, the wood plank flooring beneath us began to bend, and then a corner of the room started lifting up. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. None of us could. The storm was actually pulling the house toward the sky, with us inside it. That was when Aunt Seneva told us to clasp hands, line up, and hold hands, she said. And we did as we were told. Then she had us walk as a group toward the corner of the room that was rising. From the kitchen to the front of the house, we walked, the wind screaming outside, sheets of rain beating on the tin roof. Then we walked back in the other direction as another end of the house began to lift. And so it went, back and forth, 15 children walking with the wind, holding that trembling house down with the weight of our small bodies. When the late civil rights activist and U.S. House of Representatives John Lewis was much older, he reflected on that time. More than half a century has passed since that day, and it has struck me more than once over those many years that our society is not unlike the children in that house, rocked again and again by the winds of one storm or another, the walls around us seeming at times as if they might fly apart. It seemed that way in the 1960s, at the height of the civil rights movement, when America itself felt as if it might burst at the seams. So much tension, so many storms. But the people of conscience never left the house. They never ran away. They stayed. They came together, and they did the best they could, clasping hands and moving toward the corner of the house that was the weakest. And then another corner would lift, and we would go there. And eventually, inevitably, the storm would settle and the house would still stand. But we knew another storm would come, and we would have to do it all over again. And we did. And we still do, all of us, you and I, children holding hands, walking with the wind. That story lifted up in our own Unitarian Universalist Association worship web is a perfect metaphor for what these past few weeks have felt like. They have felt like a storm in which we feel as if the house we have built is going to blow away. Some of us feel like we don't even have hands to grasp in order to move to one area of the home to help it remain in place. Others of us may cling to rituals that sustain us because that is what we can control in a world that feels out of control. Still, some of us may hold on to family, crying and praying in fear of what is to come. It's a chaotic time for so many of us. We may find so many scrambling in different directions, maybe even running for cover. But how do we stop it all and become like those children, holding hands and walking with the wind together? Within Islam, a storm is actually considered a blessing. Rain coming down from the heavens is said to be attributed to the divine mercy upon us. There's a story regarding the Prophet Muhammad who would go out into the rain to pray and thank God for the blessing that would allow food to grow, and provide water to drink. One can imagine that in places where it rains so little, all rain, even a storm, would be welcome. But merciful rain provided something else. It provided hope. I'm aware that for many of us, storms are scary. They bring uncertainty and they fill us with fear. And we duck and cover instead of being grateful for the blessed mercy raining down upon us. And why would we be grateful when we are stuck in a life-threatening storm? How can we remain steady and move with all the changes and chaos, finding a new rhythm, rather than running for cover and waiting it out? I remember one time visiting a museum in Tennessee and being stuck because of a rainstorm. I wanted so badly to just make a run for it, but everyone told us just to wait it out. Stay away from the trees, they said, for lightning could strike you. We did wait it out, but I wondered what new rhythm we could have found if we did jump into the chaos of the storm, not fearing it, but embracing it. What new courage could have developed from that experience? And now I wonder how we can overcome our fears and become even more courageous as we witness this current metaphorical storm within our nation. Oh, beloveds, we are in crisis once again. Our Unitarian Universalist values of justice and equity are being challenged within the walls of our capital. We witness laws being enacted against the most marginalized within our midst, and we are scared. I believe that with this particular storm, we will need to make a choice. Do we hold hands and move with it, move within it, finding ways to strengthen our communities, providing sanctuary for the most marginalized, all while challenging those who dismantle years of our work, building towards true equity and justice? Or do we run for cover and wait it out? Yes, this is the million-dollar question today. And surviving this storm will become one of the most important decisions of our lifetime. Because if the storm uplifts the houses we have built, the structures we have painstakingly worked towards building, to bend that arc towards justice a little more, to protect those who are most marginalized, then I fear humanity may not survive. Beloveds, the choices we make today are a matter of life and death, literally. We are witnessing on the national stage the criminalization of our trans and immigrant beloveds. ICE is storming homes in search of undocumented immigrants. Passports are being returned with the wrong gender. Thousands upon thousands are losing their jobs and funding because of dismantling models of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I wonder if it is like the story of the 3 little pigs. You remember the one. I will huff and puff and blow your house down. That is a threat of the big bad wolf or sly fox, depending on your version. Well, those little pigs had 3 types of homes: straw, sticks, and bricks. The straw and sticks were easily built. Those piggies wanted to have fun, so they built homes fast. Unfortunately, those homes could not withstand that storm. The pig with the brick home took a long time to build it. They worked so hard and for so long, making sure their structures were strong and could withstand any storm. Their decision was the right one. The storm did not blow it down. Some of us have been in many of these storms. Perhaps we marched in the 1960s and remember the times before the civil rights era. Some of us may have witnessed world wars and even participated in them. Some of us have been blessed with an education that taught us about such historical storms, and we have learned how to do the work together, to move together, to build together. Why? Because we always knew there would be storms. They keep coming, one after another, huffing and puffing, but we have known what to do to withstand them and emerge triumphant. So here we are in another storm. For some, this one seems different somehow. It feels as if what we built all these years was made of just straw and sticks. Some of us worry that we don't know what to do. But Lewis reminds us that we just hold on to one another and move together. Naomi Klein, author of The Shock Doctrine, while being interviewed by journalist Mehdi Hassan the other day, tells us that the intention is to shock and awe, so that we run scared and curl up in a ball and give up until it's all over. Instead, we have to remember that we have been here before. Indeed, we have, many times. The last time we experienced this shock and awe strategy, as Mehdi Hassan said, was during George W. Bush's administration, in which he pummeled the Iraqi people in 2003 with so many missiles that they would have to feel overwhelmed and overpowered and lie down in submission. As Klein reminds us, that isn't what happened. As an Iraqi American, I remember that time very well. It was devastating for those of us who could only watch the dehumanization of our Iraqi family members and friends who were stuck in a horror show. But as was proven over and over, the resilience of the Iraqi people means the temporary overwhelm eventually dissipated, as it must do with the rest of us. That is, history has proven that we will find the way if we hold on to one another and move together within the storm. Yes, that is what we must hold on to now. The overwhelm will eventually dissipate. You might be thinking, but so many of us are hurting. I agree. And we must take the time to grieve. We must do what we must to get ourselves ready to move within the storm. And once we are ready, let us be grateful for what we must do. We have a large task at hand to build the biggest brick house instead of straw and stick, so that we will build, and what we build will withstand any new storm. Because there will always be another storm. Let it instead be a storm of mercy. Beloveds, our Unitarian Universalist values are life-saving, and we must use them to guide our way, because without these values living and breathing and moving within our world, I fear many of us will perish. Like the umbrellas given as temporary sanctuary to others in our Time for All Ages story, we must cover and protect those who need it with our life-saving values. So now the $1 million question is simplified to this. What will you do to help beloved Unitarian Universalists who are affected by this storm? Will you run and hide? Or will you find a steady rhythm in this new storm, working on bringing our sacred values into it, to dismantle it from within? Will you provide a sanctuary to the marginalized? The choice is yours, beloveds. The hope is ours.
Our offering will now be gratefully received. Remember that every offering is a Share the Bowl offering, where undesignated cash is given to the charities we support. The bowl awaits, or you may donate online.
We're gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. We're gonna honor those before us. Honor those before us. Honor those before us. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna reach across our borders. Reach across our borders. Reach across our borders. Never turning back. Never turning back. We're gonna work for change together. Work for change together. Work for change together. Never turning back. Never turning back. We're gonna keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Never turning back. Never turning back.
I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the benediction and extinguishing the chalice. To Soulfully Survive the World's Mayhem by Heather Ryan Starr. May whatever gatherings or activities we engage in this Sunday afternoon help restore us, our connections to one another, our sense of hope, beauty, and fun in this world, our deep knowing that we have to take care of ourselves and each other. With love and joy, if we are to soulfully survive the world's mayhem. Please join me in saying the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish these flames, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace, return in love.